couple of the housekeeping tips as the YouTube content creators. One of the understanding that we have is we have to work to understand your audience. The other thing is the algorithm. This is the topic of conversations we often hear. But some people have a different perspectives using the YouTube channels as a method. But if you're speaking about authenticity and trying to sort of have a definition into how your healing journey, things that you do in your daily life, even though they are very basic and simple, if you're trying to feed into algorithm, their suggestions are mostly celebrity cultures or some other major topics. Working towards to feed the algorithm is a form of manipulation. Waste of energy is essentially not doing anything for individuals like myself to heal. There is absolutely no benefit to it. There is absolutely no joy in it. So therefore, catering to algorithm is defeat the purpose. This is how I interpret that. The other thing is, who are your audience? We really don't know who are the audience. How would I know who are the audience and the people that I'm supposed to cater to? We really don't know. Because the public forum, the discussions that is different and unique, these audience have to navigate and seek. I remember even 20, 30 years ago, I barely speak English, but I was continuously seeking for something like conspiracy theories, something that's get my attention. I had a limited amount of the Wi-Fi, like a 25, because this is what I could afford at the time. I always go over with that little window of time. I try to seek and continuously to seek a dig deep to something that is satisfactory, and this is how I come to these conclusions on my own, because it's without somebody's direct performance like on TV. You know that they were not doing anything to elevate your state of being, a state of mind, and therefore you are personally responsible to navigate these informations and seek and trying to make a sense out of the external system. This is how these black sheeps and light workers, spiritually connected individuals, seek information. So in my channel, I don't really know the audience. Maybe I have few friends that I met along the way that is following me, and thank you. But it is not forceful, it's not begging or anything like that. They are free to choose and to support me or to maybe have some different perspective. So this is extremely free to choose, and catering to the algorithm really defeat the purpose. This is what I think. When you are following, this is how when we speak about the prison planet, this is the conclusion that we come to, because it's the information gatekeepers. This is a perfect example. They are promoting agendas, promoting information. When you really take a deep dive into it, you really don't get any benefit. Especially me, I don't find this helping me or benefit me in any way. So then time well wasted following these things. Instead, I can do something that is authentic to me, and that's the information that we want to put out there. If someone is seeking, if someone is coming across these kind of contents, is free to follow, free to get triggered and get into that, connect into the source God, the spiritual connection. It's a free place, without any obligations, without any manipulation to any kind of system. This is what the information delivery is all about. That's one example. The other thing that we want to talk about today is the school of life is all sorts of different options, different ideas and information. So the understanding, the difference between understanding and clarity is a two different thing. Just like in your regular school, you have a lot of expensive books that you are to buy, especially if you are in a post-secondary schooling. So you have the list of books, big books, a lot of information inside of it. But this is understanding of you have awareness about the information inside these books. But we have exams, so you have to make sure you highlight and narrow down things that may come in the exam, that may be most important. So we can't really have all that books information, and it's not going to be narrowed down to in the exam. So it is our personal responsibility to have understanding, yet we have to prioritize and lessons that is most likely be in the exam, most likely is very important, and summarizing of this information. Our school of life is the same thing. We have a lot of options, we have a lot of information, but we have to come to terms with this information that is highlighted, the most important things in our life. This is how we navigate school of life, information that is going to take us forward in our school of life. Perfect example. Health and wellness is extremely vital part of our social structure, but it is our personal responsibility to the mastering of how to navigate, how to fuel, how to make it healthy, vibrant vessel, because this is the most important thing. It is the contained your mind, body, spirit. The spirit and mind is contained into your vessel. This is how you protect all three, because you're understanding how to have a balanced style of life. If you go external looking for support, there might be support. Of course, there are healthcare systems, but they are there as a tool. We can't, I always say this, everyone say this, we have to be in charge of our own health and well-being. If we haven't done that, this is going to be in the exam of school of life. It happened a few years ago. It doesn't really matter what you do, what you don't do. There is an exam coming. Then we have to be proactive and decide what is the best way forward. Within that healthcare system, these decision making, there are other sub ingredients show up, the unity, the collective consciousness, the loyalties and the self-respect, and all of these show up in one lesson. Because when it comes down to decision making, there is no gray area. Either It is yes or no. When we make these decisions that affect our well-being because we have fear of losing your job, losing your family, but that was already existing within that ecosystem because we haven't have that dialogue about unity, about health, and about economy. None of these important decision making or dialogue ever have taken place. When it comes to reality, no one really force you with something to your head and make you do things. You are willing a participant. Grandma was always there, nurturing everyone. Then she was loved conditionally. If you don't do this, you can't do this. This is how this is the conclusion. This is what we have become because we have no loyalty, or we have shown loyalty to something that is external. Eventually, it is not going to protect you. So these are a little bit of highlights where a school of life, the decision making of understanding, it seems very understanding, you want to do the right thing, but the understanding and clarity is a two different thing. The clarity is what is going to make you move forward. This is the perfect balance. Understanding of something does not mean is clarity about something. So these are key factors that we are to keep in mind. The other thing, when it comes to economy, losing jobs was always there because it's a scarcity, it's a manipulation. When you know, if you ever exposed to these circumstances, it's never about happy and delivering services because you really are passionate about. Even if you start off this way, towards the end or even in the middle, you come to conclusions differently. This is a place that makes you sick. You have to shrivel down to something that you are not. It is extremely toxic. It's happening in your mind and spirit, and it's going to get transferred into your body. Now you are going to be suffering from a lot of different things because you are not honoring your mind and spirit. So this is another highlight. We always have a fear of losing. This is how they shape and condition you to unpractical, critical thinking is off, not logical, time wasting, money wasting, decision making, hiring and firing. What do you call that? There's a word for it, doesn't come to my mind at the time. But anyway, these things happen. This is the setup in a social structure because they aren't really happy. The system cannot survive creating perfect environments for you to survive. This is what the external system is all about. So the employment place is always then of course you have to rely on the medical system in order for you to have some time off, so have to have a vacation or something. On the paper everything is perfect, but when it comes to delivery, it's a different story. So you can't you have no options but to rely on the medical system to have an approval, as if somebody that is just not even having a eye contact with you have to decide your health and well-being. It's silly, it's unpractical, it's toxic for the human collective consciousness. But we have to navigate school of life not by understanding, because they will always say, well, we have business to run. but you are not a valuable member. You are just a number, and get your act together, follow the rules, and be nothing, and show up to work. These are circumstances we are facing because it's a toxic external system. Um, we have to pay attention to these things and have a clarity. This is how we move forward and protect our own mind, body, spirit vessel. This is another area. So the economy is the same thing. System have designed for us to follow things that we want, but the universe never going to deliver you things that you want. It's always going to provide you with things we need. If you need healing, this is lessons that universe is going to deliver, because until you have a clarity, until you have a balance, until you have learned to forgive and manage your emotional nightmare, emotional existence, manage your spirit, you can move forward. This is what the universal lessons are. This is why we, if the Heavenly Father or the environment, ecosystem provide us with everything we want, I don't know how it's going to be possible. It's not responsible to provide us things with what we want. It's providing us with things what we need. This is the practical understanding. Critical thinking has to be active all the time, because we have to protect our mind, body, spirit vessel. If we were not protecting our mind, body, spirit vessel, this is the entry level for the external factors that does not have our best interest at heart. When you say spiritual warfare, this is what it means. When you say prison planet, algorithms, or censorship, this is the expression of prison planet. We will talk about we have to do everything else everyone else is doing. We have to follow what is given to us. But when you come to some things that really matter, economic decision, health decision, spiritual decision, we are the one who is responsible for that. Like, for example, if you were to do drugs, you are the one who is going to pay the consequences. But nevertheless, the options are there for people. So we are trying to diminish individuality, the God parts of ourselves, but at the same time, we're not leaving people the space to create. For example, the individuality, like your creative stuff, creative content. Algorithm is not promoting that, because this is not what everybody is following, but it is so much more than it is a control mechanism. If everyone is thriving and be all creative and happy, there's nothing go into the system. So this is what we have to keep in mind. But in reality, though, when we have a censorship, we all collectively are the customers. We're the one who is paying and funding these systems. If everyone, 8 billion, says, hey, no more, if you're going to be like this, we don't want to play this game anymore, we're just going to withdraw. So, but the reality is, although we're human beings, although we have the same challenges in life, we aren't making decisions that is beneficial for the collective consciousness. It is all about the individual satisfaction. So they have done that separation, because in the family, same thing. When it comes to decision making, they weren't standing by the family members. They weren't standing by the friends who were there all throughout your life. You say, if you don't get this, we can't associate anymore. This is the prison planet. This is the expression of prison planet. Same thing with the local business. that you go there for 20 years to get your breakfast and coffee, um, and no longer you're free to sit there because of some external thing. So then their loyalty is really not for the customers, their loyalty is for something else, but they make it so that, oh, if we don't follow these orders, we have to shut down. So this is an understanding, but the understanding really not going to get us forward. The clarity is going to get us forward, because the natural laws taking place. If the man can't play in accordance with the universal law, the God's law, according to your higher self, somebody is going to step in and fix that for you, because it's not something can move forward. You are no longer into the collective consciousness of human spirit. So these are the kind of things that come to my mind, and hopefully what I gain from this is putting this out in public is giving me more clarity. Nevertheless, I am never loyal to any information or any system because it can change. More information that is come through, the different ideas that come through is shifting and changing to move forward. So then we're not enslaved to a certain level of information that is carefully crafted and given to us, because we have our logical thinking, we have our critical thinking, we have our practical thinking, we have a compassion, we have integrity. So these components have to come together for decision making to move forward. So this is where we are at, is the understanding of a spiritually connected light worker. So this is where we are at. The purpose is, if somebody's meant to hear these messages, get triggered, get you into a deep dive thinking or thinking differently towards your own authentic existence, then the mission is accomplished. The economy. So if you're not following the rules, you're really not making any income. So this is the understanding, is accurate. For me, I have done that from the beginning, done everything perfectly the way system has designed to do. So you work, you go to school, you follow something, you build something, but it was taken away from you. There was no integrity, there was no fairness, there was no compassion. So which is all fine and dandy, but I have more clarity now than I ever did. At that time, you are sick. Your internal things that you have built up over the years was making you physically sick. You have inflammation is taking over. This is the outcome from following the system. But now, even though you have no income, you're free. You're free from illnesses and inflammation, and you're working towards your own healing. But we really don't know what's the future hold. But you know that you can't, even for $1 million, you cannot be conformed into something you are not. This is the clarity. This is where you're coming from. If the system, if the creator wants you to survive in this system, it will find its way, because we can't play this game continuously, because this life is belong to you. You're experiencing for your higher self. We don't know, but the clarity is there, understanding is there. You know that there's a manipulation, you know there is a programming happens, but because you have a clarity, you're right now, you're maintaining your health and wellness and manage your life is manageable. So this is the level of clarity that you are not willing to let go, because you get into you have to conform into a system because you get this measly paycheck and you will have a comfort. It doesn't sound, I don't mean to sound arrogant about it. It's the dissatisfaction of imbalances when you have to pay like $1 million for some wooden drywall shack. You know, systems are not working for the population. I don't know where they get the authority. It's election, it's a selection, but who gave them this authority to make these decisions? Open borders is the same thing. It's a hostile entry. Somebody who is entering into a country legally thinking they are in a level playing field, even though maybe resources aren't there, but it's still a place from a place of integrity and humbleness, and it's a happy place. If somebody has to enter some place a hostile manner, illegally or forced entry, this is a kind of emotions that's associated with it. Is the desperation, is less than, not good enough, is scarcity, fear mongering, or extreme angry hostile entry. There is no well wishes there. There is no reason to promote the existing ecosystem but the selfish ideas. Economic migration is the same thing. You're in a limbo. You're doing whatever needs to be done, but you're not a equal playing partners in a healthy ecosystem. So these things are understanding, but the clarity has to come. And who allow these things happen? The selected few will make sure they open up and make these chaotic existences unbearable for the people, but they don't have to deal with it. They don't mingle with the people. So it's also a parasitic system, uh, and we don't really know who these people who are making these decisions. And if you know these institutions, there's need to be healthy dialogue, need to be addressing these concerns. And instead what we see is somebody's willing to look at the book, somebody's trying to have some kind of transparency. Now all of a sudden they're the bad guy, they're the demon, and uh, the human beings are promoting this stuff. Although this is going to benefit the people, we don't really have any understanding or clarity. We're just uh, following agendas. This is where we run into problems. School of life is not like that. Instead of participating in the destruction of all and everything, we are to protect the healthy, well-balanced ecosystems of human species. This is what I think at this time. It could change, but I'm perfectly comfortable with these ideas at this point. Thank you.